Minor League Player of the Week time. It's Arrows starter Matt Packer. The lefty went 2-0 in 2 starts for the Arrows last week, allowing just 1 run and 8 hits in 16 innings pitched. In that span, he struck out 16 and walked only 2.
Well, another high prospect lefty in the AA system. 16 innings in 2 starts. Very nice, getting 8 innings apiece, it looks like.
Probably going to be a AAA starter next year, so the Indians will have a nice rotation at Columbus as they do this year. Welcome back. Time now for our Focus on the Future segment. And one of those guys, for him in Columbus, the future could be here before you know it. It's pitcher Zach McAllister. Here's Scott Leo in Columbus with more.
We are here in Columbus with Clippers right-hander Zach McAllister. And Zach, thanks for taking some time with us. It's been a great year for you here in the Indians organization. You piled up a lot of wins early in the season, but here as of late, the rain has been more of a story for you, hasn't it?
Right, definitely. Kind of got off to a great start early on with the wins and being able to kind of just scrape some wins out. But as of late, I guess the rain has been a big issue for me with kind of cut me back some starts and not really let me get 5 innings in.
You mentioned your command, and that's something that Clippers fans have come to know and love because you've been able to command the strike zone on a pretty regular basis, and that's why you've had a lot of success.
Definitely. I think that's kind of been huge for me my whole career, is being able to throw strikes, get guys out kind of early in the count, and if I get the strikeout, I'm definitely happy to get the strikeout. But for me, I want to go deep in the game and know that if I'm getting guys out early in the count and throwing strikes, then I'm doing my job.
Oftentimes you've had a lineup here in Columbus that has been one of the best in all of AAA baseball. The names and faces have changed, but most of the time when you've been on the mound, you've had great run support.
Definitely. I mean, knowing that if you keep your team in the game, then for the most part you're going to have a chance to win, especially with the lineup that we have here throughout this whole season has just been spectacular, knowing that if you give up 5 runs early on, that you still have a pretty good chance you're going to win. And if you don't give up any runs, then for the most part, yeah, still have a pretty good chance they're going to score at least 1 for you.
The home ballpark for Columbus is one that sees some of the most home runs hit annually in the minor leagues. It's only .318 down the right field line. The wind is oftentimes blowing towards the left field bleachers, which can be problematic. How have you been able to keep the ball in the ballpark?
I think just knowing that you have to keep the ball down and execute pitches when you're here, and I think that's kind of something that some people might take for granted when they're on the road, but for me that's something that I want to do whether I'm at home or on the road, is keep the ball down and try to get as many ground ball outs as I can. And for me lately, I haven't been able to get the ground balls as I would like, but knowing that when I have pitched here, I've been able to keep the ball down for the most part, and either that or have some soft contact in the air.
You got your first taste of the major leagues this year, and you and I chatted shortly after that, and I asked you this. I'm going to ask you again. How has that experience changed Zach McAllister?
Just definitely for the better, knowing that I've always thought I could get big league hitters out, but actually going up there and being able to execute pitches and get big league hitters out is definitely a good boost for your mentality when you take the mound, and knowing that I've got big league hitters out, I can get guys out here, and knowing that my stuff works at the big league level. Just a matter of getting consistent with everything is something that I've been working on this whole season, and continuing to work on it too.
One of the things that I've talked about during the course of the year is the pitching depth the Indians have. They've got 5 guys in the big leagues, but then really with yourself and Jenmar Gomez, David Huff has been that 6 or 7 or 8 starter, depending on how you want to order it. Right. Do you guys feel like every time you go out, you're auditioning for that next chance?
I think everyone wants to compete against everybody for us, knowing that if we go out and do our job, then good things are going to happen regardless if it's for you or for the guy behind you, knowing that if you go out there and do what you're capable of, then for the most part something good will happen for you, whether it's right now or in the future, that everyone kind of pushes each other and wants to make everyone better.
Last year you were part of a Columbus team that went on to win the AAA title, and this year's team is very good again, best record in all of AAA ball. So is there a lot of buzz around the clubhouse or among the pitching staff that, hey, we've got a chance to do something special again?
I mean, not really. I think everyone kind of understands that we've had a great season so far. We obviously want to continue and win again, but right now I think everyone's just kind of taking it one day at a time, knowing that if everyone goes out from the whole team-wise and does their job, that for the most part you're going to get a win, and that's kind of what everyone's looking for. And I think everyone has that mentality of knowing that if we do that, we're going to be back where we were last year.
You have at least a few weeks left in your season, maybe more if there's a call up to the big leagues in store for you in September. What is it that you want to do in your last few starts to close out the season on a high note?
For me, I obviously just execute pitches, knowing be consistent with all my pitches from pitch 1 to the last pitch of the game. And just for me, if I do that, I feel that I've done what I wanted to do to end the season on a good note.
The pride of Chillicothe, Illinois, one of the big reasons why Columbus has had a great season here at Huntington Park. Zach, thanks for taking some time with us.
Thanks for having me.
Zach McAllister here in Columbus. Back to you guys.
All right, Scott, Zach, thanks. Yeah, we could see Zach very soon.
Yeah, and it'll be exciting. And he's made such a big turnaround from last year to this year. He got the one opportunity to pitch up here in the big leagues. I like this kid. I like him a lot.
I like him too. It came the Austin Kearns deal. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get you set with the standings and the schedule as you get a look at some kids getting the chance to run the field at Canal Park in Akron. Make sure you stay tuned. Standings check for you. As you can see, the Columbus Clippers running away with it. They're going to be in the postseason. Akron still could get a spot, but they're about 3.5 out of the last playoff spot. Kinston looks like they're going to go to the postseason. Lake County, unfortunately, will not. Mahoning Valley still in the hunt. Let's take a look at the schedule for this week's farm teams. Columbus starts a home on the road in Indy. Then they're home for Louisville. Akron is at Bowie before coming home to face Richmond. Kinston is at Frederick. Then they host Lynchburg. Lake County heads to West Michigan and South Bend. And Mahoning Valley hosts Auburn and Jamestown. Jason, about a minute left here in the show. Many folks want to know, hey, who's coming up in September? I say at least 3 arms. I say Josh Judy's a shoo-in. Maybe Lee. Maybe Hagedin, then a couple of position players, Cord Phelps, Luis Valbuena, depends where they are at the time they're coming up. You might see another 1 or 2 as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see, especially with those guys trying to defend their 2010 AAA national title that they have. But, you know, you look at these guys, they've done a great job from top to bottom, but it's going to be fun to watch that September call-up right around the 1st, 2nd of September.
Yeah, we'll see who comes up. Right now, though, we're out of time with Indians Minor League Magazine, but of course we'll have another episode for you next week as you look at the Lake County Captains golf outing that we played in here at STO. No, we did not win. Didn't even come close. For Jason Stanford, I'm Al Pulowski. Have a good one.